Hi everyone, this is Brownie Low Code and I welcome you guys to HomeNest tutorial series where we are building real estate app from scratch using FlutterFlow and Supabase. If you are new here, this is the 5th video, you can also call it episode 5, and we are building full featured property listing app from scratch. So far we've covered the authentication, the onboarding page, sign up page, and then sign in. We also set up the user account page and then the profile edit page whereby user can able to edit their profile or set up their display name, full name, profile image, and also how user can become an agent after completing their profile. If you missed the last video, I highly recommend it for you to watch because we laid the foundation for becoming an agent, including progress tracking and then profile validation. Now in this video we are diving into one of the most important features, which is the agent page, where agents can add new property listing. They can able to edit or modify their property. They can also decide to delete their property. And finally, we are going to display the property in the home page, so buyers or renters can able to browse them. It's going to be very professional. Just stay tuned and then let's begin this step without wasting much of our time. Firstly, we are going to head to our Supabase. So here's my Supabase. I'm going to create new table. So this table, I'm going to name it property. So I'm going to leave the ID. So I'm going to add the agent ID column. The agent ID is going to be authenticated, then user. So I'm going to select the ID. If agent is deleted, the agent listing is going to delete as well. So I'm going to select the cascade and then cascade. So I'm going to save. The next thing I'm going to add is the title. So the title is going to be string. The description is going to be string. So I'm going to add price. The price is going to be numeric. So I'm going to add square footage. I'm going to add a fit, which is the square footage. The square footage is going to be numeric as well. I'm going to add number of bedroom. The number of bedroom is going to be numeric. Then the year built. The year built is going to be calendar. It's going to be date. Then the amenities. The amenities is going to be string. It's going to be text. It's going to be text, and then it's going to be defined as array. So I'm going to add address. The address is going to be text, and then state, also city. So the state is going to be text. The city is going to be text also. So I'm going to add images. The images is going to be text. The image is going to be text, and then it's going to be list. It's going to be defined as array. Also, I'm going to add a status. The status is going to be text. So property type of property is going to be text. Then number of bathroom. So I'm going to shift this to after number of bed, after number of bedroom, so number of bathroom. So this property type is going to tell us maybe the property is bungalow or duplex or whatever, or any kind of property. And then we are going to have property listed in, maybe it's for sale or for rent. So we can call this property type. So this is going to be a listing type. So there is difference between property type and the listing type. The property type is going to tell us the kind of property, maybe it is duplex, bungalow, or wherever. Then the listing type is going to tell us maybe the property is for sale or is for rent. So we are going to give this a text. So let's save everything. Okay, we still have one more here. This is numeric. So let's save it. So our property is now saved. So I'm going to head to the FlutterFlow so we can continue the UI settings. So let's head to agent page. So this is agent page. I'm going to design 3 pages behind the scene, which is the agent page, and then the property listing page, and also the edit property listing. I'm going to design these 3 pages behind the scene. After that, I will come back and show you what I've designed so far. So the reason why I have to design this behind the scene is because of the time. I don't want to spend much time designing the UI live, because designing UI usually takes a lot of time. So, and then if you are interested in AI page gen as well, you can make use of it to design your own page. So welcome back, guys. I've created the pages. I created the add property page, and then I also complete the agent page, whereby this page is going to display agent details and then the agent property. So we are going to add an action on each of the properties, whereby the action is going to pop up a component. So I've designed the component as well. So here is the component, the property option component, whereby a user can be able to edit the property and then mark it as sold if the property is meant to be sold. Then you can also mark it as rent if the property is meant to be rented out. So user can be able to delete the property as well. Then the edit property page, here is it. What I did here is that the add property page, I duplicate it and then make use of it as the edit property page. So we are going to start working on everything step by step. So that's the 3 pages I created for now, and then I added one component, which is the property option component. So without wasting much of our time, let's start working on it. We start with the add property page. So what we are going to do first is to add an action to this button. So this action is going to insert a Supabase row. So the row to insert should be property, which is the table we created recently. Now before we add the action, let's add row level security to the property table. So I'm going to create a new policy. I'm going to give this all, then I can call it property policy. So I'm going to give this true, then I'm going to give this true. So I'm going to save the policy. So after that, I'll go to my settings and then get a schema. So here is the property we just created. Now on the publish button, I'm going to add an action to insert a row, which is property. I'm going to set the feed. The first thing I will set is the agent ID. The agent ID is going to be the authenticated user ID. And then the title is going to be from the widget state property title text field. Also, the description is going to be from the widget state property description text field. Is price. The price is going to be from widget state price text field. And then the number of bedroom The number of bedrooms should be from the widget state bedroom drop down, but the value the drop down is giving us is a string, is a text. So that's not what we need in our drop down. What we actually need in our drop down, if you check our Supabase table, what we actually need in our bedroom and the number of bedroom is numeric. That should be a double. So what we are going to do is to convert the text to double using inline function. So we are going to select inline function. Then we are going to add an argument. This argument is going to be the widget state bedroom drop down. So we just take the bedroom drop down. That's we're going to convert it to double. Double dot pass var1. So that's how to convert string to double. We're going to check error and see if there's any error. So there is no error. Let us confirm it. So that's how to convert it to double. Now we can copy the variable. Now let's copy the variable and then add number of bathroom. So we can paste the variable here, and then the variable is going to be from the bathroom drop down. So this is going to be from the bathroom drop down. It's going to convert the text to string. It's going to convert the text to double. So what we have next is the year built. The year built is going to be from the widget state. The year built should be from the widget state year built. So what we are going to be doing here is to add date picker widget. So on top of this, we are going to add an action. We are going to add an action to pick a date. You can just type in date picker, widget UI interaction date picker. So this is going to be date. So this is going to give us the date calendar. So we can select the year built from the widget state, the date calendar. So it's going to be the date picker. Good. You can confirm it. So the field you are going to add next is square footage. The square footage should be from the widget state square footage, and then the property type should be from the widget state property type drop down. So we still have more fields to add. So the next field we can add is the listing type. We are going to add is the listing type. The listing type is going to be from the widget state they listed in drop down. So let's add the amenities now. The amenities should be from all these checkbox. So what we are going to do for the amenities is to add a page state variable. So this page state variable will be amenities. So the amenities will be string, and then it's going to be a list. So we can confirm. So what we are going to be doing now is to add the value from the page state amenities. That's a list of string. So how is this amenities going to be added to our page state? On each of the checkbox, we are going to add an action. When user toggle on the checkbox, we are going to update the page state. and then the amenities page state. What are we going to do to the amenity page state? We are going to add it to list. Add to list, value to add to list. If we can see, this is swimming pool. So the value we are going to add to list, we can just copy this swimming pool. Then we can paste it here. Whenever user toggle off the checkbox, we are going to update the page state as shown. We are going to remove the value from the list. What are we going to do? The amenities page state, we are going to remove from the list. So which value are we meant to remove from the list is going to be the swimming pool. So that's how we are going to do to all the checkbox. So the field we are going to add next is the address. The address is going to be from the widget state, the address text field. So the next field we are going to add next is property gallery, whereby we can upload multiple images to our database and then we can also modify it. So what we are going to be adding next to our feed is the images to our Supabase and then create a storage. If you are following this tutorial, you will know we have done this the other time, how to create Supabase storage in the previous video. I think that should be the third video of this series, whereby users were able to set up their profile image. So for the sake of this video, we are going to do the same thing for those people who haven't watched the video. So we are going to enter the bucket name. We can call this property images, and then it's going to be a public bucket. So we can create, and then we are going to add a folder. So this folder is going to be images URL. So we are going to give it a policy. It's going to be full customization. Then we can select this, select insert, select update, and then select delete. So the policy name can be property image policy. So we are going to review and then save the policy. Now let's go back to our FlutterFlow and then add this to our FlutterFlow. Add page state. This page state is going to be images, and then it's going to be image path. So it's a list of images. We're going to save it. So on top of this, we are going to add an action. This action is going to upload and save media. We're going to select Supabase, and then the bucket name. We're going to make sure the bucket name and then the bucket name in our FlutterFlow is the same thing. This is property images. So we are going to write in property images here. Then the folder path is images URL. This is going to be images. Select gallery only. So the gallery only, then we are going to allow multiple images. Then we give the width, you can give it 1000. Then the height, you can give it 1000 too. So that's going to be that. We can just copy this action, then add it here. You can add it to this icon. So while adding it to this icon, We are going to disable the allow multiple images. We are going to disable that so that the uploaded file should be different from each other. We are going to change the name here. We can just add any random maybe number or any random text here so that it's going to be different. So the reason why we make this multiple and then the reason why we disable the multiple here is because of the page state we are using. The moment we tap on this widget and then upload file, we are going to update the page state and set value. Which value are we going to set is going to be images. Then we are going to set the value from the widget state uploaded file URL, which is the list of images. You can just copy the action, then we are going to paste the action here. I'm going to paste the action here. So the action we are pasting here is going to add to list. We are going to add to list. So now what are we going to add to list? Is going to be from the widget state. It's going to be from the widget state, the uploaded file URL, which is the one that's not a list. So we are going to generate the image dynamically from the page state into this row. So we can go to the page state and then select the images. You can call this uploaded images. So we can save it. Now we have an overflow here. The reason why we have an overflow here is because this row doesn't have a specific width. If we wrap it in a container and then give it a specific width, the overflow is going to cancel. Another way we can do it is to give it an expansion. When we click on this expansion, so the overflow disappears. So we are going to give the row spacing. We can just give it 4. Then we are going to make it scrollable. We are going to add an action to this icon. It's going to remove the image from list. We are going to update the page state. We're going to update the page state, and then the images is going to remove from list. Item value to remove from list is going to be the uploaded images item. So that's that. So I believe you understand the media upload now. So let's see the other feed we can set up. So the value of this image is going to be from the images. So what we have next is the state and then the city. So the state and the city is a little bit complicated somehow, but it is not hard. Just calm down and then I'll walk you guys through how to set it up. It is not hard, but if you don't put your mind in it, it's going to be a little bit complicated, but it is not complicated. So the first thing we are going to do now is to head to our Supabase and then create 2 tables. The tables we are going to create a state table and then a city table. So we are going to create the state. So the state is going to have ID and then the state name. We can save it. And here the state name. The state name is going to be text. So we are going to save it. So the second table is going to be cities. We can just call this state ID. So the state ID is going to be foreign key of state. Then it's going to be the state ID. So we can just cascade and then cascade it. We are going to save it. Now what we are going to add next is the city name. The city name is a text, so we are going to save it. So after that, we are going to add a row level security to the state. So we can give this state, then give it all true. So we are going to save the policy. Save. So the policy we are going to add is the city policy. So we are going to add, give it a row level security. So give it all and then city policy. So I'm going to give this true. Then this is going to be true as well. I'm going to save the action. So now I have the CSV of the state and then the CSV of the city. I'm going to leave the both CSV in the video description below. So I'm going to upload the CSV. It's going to be state CSV. So I have 50 states here. And then let's go to the city. I'm going to upload the city CSV as well. I have 237 cities. So let's go back to our Flutter and then get the schema. So we are going to get the schema. We are going to go to our state and then city. So I'm going to convert this row to a component. So I can just call it state and city. So on the component load, I'm going to add an action. This action is going to query the city. The row is going to query is going to be the state row, and then I will give it action output of all states. I'm going to add another action to query the row of cities. We're going to query the city row, then I'm going to give this action output of all cities. After I add the action, I'm going to add component state variable. So this component state variable is going to store the data we queried on the component load. So the first component state variable I'm going to add is the state. This is going to be state, and then it's going to be Supabase row, and then is a list. This is a state, and then the other feed I'm going to add is the cities. The cities is going to be Supabase row. I'm going to select the cities. It's also a list. So then confirm the. Now after the component initialization, the third action I'm going to add is to update the component state. The first feed I will update is the state feed. I'm going to set the value from the action output, all states. I'm going to confirm it, and then the second is the city. I'm going to set the value from the action output, then all cities. So after we query the row and then set the value in our component state, we are going to display them in the dropdown. I'm going to display the value from the component state. It's going to be state here dropdown. So I'm going to map list the item, then the field is going to be a state name. So for the city dropdown, I'm going to add another component state. This is going to be the state ID, and then it's going to be an integer. So I'll confirm it. On select of the state dropdown, I'm going to add an action. So this action is going to update the component state. It's going to update the component state, the state ID. I'm going to set the value from the component state list of states. So I'm going to filter the item by conditional value. The conditional value is going to be the single condition. So I'm going to set the value from the item list, get a row feed. So the state name is going to be equal to the widget state drop down. So I'm going to confirm it, and then item at index, the first item, then ID. So that's how I'm going to save the selected state ID in my component state. So now I'm going to filter the define option of the cities based on the selected state ID. So the value is going to be from the component state, city, list of city. Then I'm going to filter list item based on the conditional value. The conditional value is going to be the item in list. So I'm going to get a row feed state ID. The state ID is equal to the component state selected state ID. So I'm going to confirm it. So I'm going to map list the item, the city name. So back to our add property. So on this button, I'm going to add a feed. So this feed is going to be the state from the widget state, city and state. So I'm going to select the state drop down. Then the city is going to be from the widget state. It's going to be from the widget state city drop down. So after all the action, I'm going to close this page by closing the dialog. So let's go to our edit property. So this is our edit property. I'm going to add a page parameter to my edit property. So this page parameter is going to be property detail. The property detail is going to be a Supabase row, and then this is the property. So the property title initial text feed is going to be from the property detail title. So that's how I'm going to set all the text feed. I set all the text feed and then the drop down from the page parameter. What I'm going to be adding next is going to be the amenities. I'm going to add the page state as we did in the add property page. So this is going to be amenities. Then it's going to be lists. And then it's going to be a list of strings. So I'm going to confirm it. So the next thing I'm going to add is the images. The images is going to be the image part, and then is a list. So on the page load, I'm going to add actions. So these actions is going to update the page state. The value to update is first the amenities, and then we're going to set the value from the component. We're going to set the value from the component parameter, the amenity. Then the other field we are going to add is the images. We are going to set the value from the page parameter, then the images. Here in our UI here we have caching, but in our Supabase we did not add caching. So let's go ahead and then add caching to our Supabase property table. So I'm going to add caching. So the caching is going to be numeric. So I will save it. So let's go ahead and then get a schema. So here in our caching, the initial value is going to be caching. So we can give it number format. So I'm going to save it. And then let's go and add the action in the add property. So on this button, we are going to include the caching feed. The caching feed is going to be the inline function we make use of, if you can remember, for the bathroom and then the bedroom. We are going to copy this the function and then paste it in the caching. So we are going to set the value from the caching drop down. So I'll just copy this button so that I won't start the action in the edit property page from scratch. I'll go to my edit property, then I'm going to paste the button so I can delete this previous button. So I'm going to change the button text to done. So we have some errors in the button. I'm going to quickly fix the error. So for the year built, we are going to add date picker widget as we did in the add property page. So the year built field is going to be from the date picker widget. So let's go to our year built widget. So on top of the year built, I'm going to add an action. So this action is going to be date picker, then the date. So we'll go back to the button and then year built is going to be from the widget state date picker. So now for the state and the city, I'm going to add the state and city component to this column. So I can add widgets, the costume component. So I'm going to select the state and the city. So here is the state and city component. So I'm going to delete this state and city row. Then go back to my text, go back to my button. So the state is going to be from the state drop down, and then the city is going to be from from the city dropdown. Remember, by the time we added date picker widget to this field, we need to display it in this field. But instead of using text field, I'd rather use text to avoid any random text. So for this row, I'm going to add a container. So I'm going to give the height 50 pixel. Then I'll close the width and then give it expansion. This year build text field, I'm going to copy the action I added to the year build text field. I'm going to cut the action and then paste it in this container. So after that, I can delete the year build. So this container, I'm going to add a text. This text, I'm going to align it to be at the center. So I'm going to edit the text so that it can be the same as the other text. So the font width is going to be semi-bold. So I'm going to change the text to year built. Then I'm going to align it to the left side and give it some padding of 12. I'm going to give this container some border radius. The border radius should be 12. The border radius should be 8. It should be the same thing as the other widget radius. It's going to be 8. Then the border color. Border color is going to be ancient 1. So for this text to display the date we pick from the date picker widget, so we are going to add a page date variable. So I'm going to call it selected date. It's going to be date and time. So I'm going to confirm it. So the text is going to be from the page date, which is the selected date. So I'm going to give it default value of year built. So on the page load, I'm going to add an action to include the previous date to the widget. So this is going to be selected date. I'm going to set the value from the page parameter property detail year built. So from the button, the year built feed is going to be from the widget state. It's going to be from the page state selected date. Then confirm it. So I'll add another action to this container after we pick the date. So this action is going to update the page date. The selected date, and then it's going to be from the widget state date picker. So I'll copy the same widget and then paste it in our add property page. So I'll go to add property and then paste it here. I'm going to delete this. So I'm going to add the page date to this page as well, which is the selected date. Then it's going to be date and time. So confirm. Then the value of this text will be from the page date. Selected date. Then give it default value of year built. Then the button field, year built. will be from the page state selected date. This container action. So we are going to update the page state, the selected date page state. We are going to set the value from the widget state date picker. So now for the edit property features and amenities, let's go to the add property. Then I will copy this widget, this wrap widget. I'm going to copy it, then go to my edit property. So I'm going to delete this previous wrap widget, then paste the one I copied. So the reason why I have to copy the one from the edit property page is because of all the actions I added. I don't want to repeat those actions, where I can just come here, then do the corrections. So I'm going to click on each of the checkbox, and then I'm going to modify the actions. So for instance, this is parking space. I'm going to copy the parking space text and then click on the checkbox. So the page state, I'm going to remove the previous one. So I'm going to add the amenities. Then I'm going to add to list. So paste. Then for the toggle off, I'm going to remove this. Then the amenities. So I'm going to remove from list. Item to remove from list is going to be parking space. So I'm going to do the same thing for the swimming pool as well. Firstly, I'm going to copy the text, then go to the checkbox. I'm going to add to list. Item to add to list is going to be swimming pool. So I'm going to remove the previous one and then add new amenities. So it's going to remove from list. Value to remove from list should be swimming pool. So that's how I'm going to do to all the checkbox. So that's that for the features and the amenities checkbox. So after the action completion, what we are going to be doing now is to set the checkbox initial value. If, for instance, if swimming pool is already added in the previous property listing, then when we navigate to edit property, checkbox should be marked as included before. So we are going to set that now. So how we are going to do that, first of all, let us copy this swimming pool. I will select the checkbox initial value. I'm going to select the page state amenities. So I'm going to select the filter list item. Then item in list is equal to the swimming pool I copied. If item in list is equal to swimming pool, then if it is set and not empty, so the checkbox should be marked. So I'm going to do the same thing to all the checkbox. I'm going to copy this variable. So I'll paste it on the checkbox initial value. I'm going to paste it here. So I will paste it on all the checkbox initial value. So after I set up all the initial value, I will move to the property images. I'm going to generate the children dynamically from the page state images. So I'm going to call these property images. Then I will save the value. So also I'm going to give the row some space. The space is going to be 4. Then I will make it scrollable. I'm going to add the uploaded file action to this. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to copy this action, then paste it in the edit page. So I'm going to make the name different from the other widgets we copied. So I can just add any random number or any random letter. So I'm going to update the page state. Is going to be images. So I'm going to set the value. I'm going to set the value from the widget state uploaded file. So go back to my add property page. So I'm going to copy this action too. I'm going to copy the action, then go to my edit property. So I'm going to paste the action here. And then I'll change the name to this. Then the value I'm going to add to list. I'm going to set the value, then add to list. Value to add to list is going to be from the widget state uploaded file URL, which is not the list of. So that's that for our edit property page. So what I'm going to be doing now is to display all the properties we published to the home page. We are going to display everything in the home page. So first thing, let's go to the agent page. So this is the property widget we are going to display in the home page. Before that, I will have to convert this widget. I'll have to convert it to a component. So I can just call this property card. So I'll go to the home page. Then I'm going to add a list view widget. So from the list view widget, I'm going to add the property card component. So that's the widget we are going to display dynamically. I'm going to give you some padding of maybe 12, then 12 here. So after that, I can give it end spacing of probably 50. Yeah. So on this container, I'm going to query the property row. I'm going to add a query, then the Supabase row. It's going to be the properties. It's going to be the list of rows. So I'm going to confirm it. Then this list view, I'm going to generate the children from the property row widget. So I can call this all properties. So I'm going to save it. Then I can give the list view some spacing, some item spacing of 8. Yeah, I can increase the end spacing by 100. So we have some warnings and then optimization here. So from the property key, I'm going to add page parameter. So the page parameter is going to be property detail, and I'm going to add the Supabase row. So it's going to be property. Then save it. So I'll go to the home page, then tap on the property card. So I'm going to add the value from the list view. So I'll select the property item, and then the unique key. The unique key should be from property item. Then I'm going to get a row feed. I will select the ID. So that is the unique key. So I went to the agent page and do the same thing. So from the agent page, I will add the page parameter. The page parameter is going to be user detail. So the user detail will be Supabase row, and then it's going to be user. So I will confirm it. So from this container, I will query property. I'm going to query properties. So, and then filter the list, and then filter the item based on the agent ID is equal to the user detail user ID. So I'm going to confirm it, and then I'll go to this list view. So from the list view, I'm going to generate the children dynamically from the query property. I can call this agent property, agent properties. So I'm going to save the query. So after that, I'm going to give it item spacing. I'm going to give it end spacing of 100, then item spacing of 8. So the unique key, the component parameter is going to be the agent property item. And then the unique key is agent property item, get a row feed. That's the ID. So that is that. So we still have two more errors. I'm going to click on the page parameter. So I will pass the page parameter from the become an agent page. The page parameter is going to be the user. So I'll pass the page parameter from the page, which is the user detail. So, and then for the second error, so and then for this optimization, I'm going to select on this list view, then give it expansion. Then this is not going to be scrollable. So the list view, I'm going to the shrink wrap, I'm going to close it. So this should disappear. Yeah, good. So after that, we can go ahead and before we test our app, let's see what else we still need to do. So we can go to our agent page. So from the agent page, so we are going to add a long press action to this property card. The long press action will, you can delete this and then add a long press action. This long press action should open a bottom sheet, should show a bottom sheet. So this is going to be the property option bottom sheet. Then you can define, on the property option parameter, I'm going to add a parameter. This parameter is going to be property detail. Property detail will be a Supabase rule and then select the property. So after that, I'm going to pass the parameter by the agent property item. So confirm. And then this action should be based on the condition. So the condition will be if agent property, then I'm going to get the row feed if agent ID is equal to the authenticated user ID. So if agent ID is equal to the authenticated user ID, this action is going to work. So that's it. So from the property option, so this should navigate us to the edit property page. To edit property page, I'm going to pass the parameter from the component parameter. So this action should delete Supabase row. So the matching row should be property ID is equal to the component parameter. I'm going to get the row feed property ID. So that's the row it should delete. So what else can we do? So I'm going to add an action to this plus button. This action is going to navigate us to our add property page. So action to navigate to add property. Good. So the user details should be displayed in all the feed here. For instance, this should be displayed the user detail. Then the profile image should be displayed here. I can just add the profile detail and then profile URL. I will give it the default variable value. So this button should navigate us to edit profile. So I'm going to pass all the parameters. Then this is going to be the display name. So the first name, bio, work experience, and then the last name. I can just copy this parameter and then add it to all the other parameters. So this is going to be the first name. Then for the bio, we'll paste the parameter and then this is going to be the bio. So for the work experience, we'll paste the parameter and then change this to the work experience. And then for the last name, I'm going to paste the last name here. So the bio should be written here. I can just copy this default text, then I'll paste the parameter here and then make use of this as the bio. Then default text should be no bio. Then the work experience, I'm going to copy this default text, then paste the variable. and then give this as the work experience. And I'm going to paste the default text. So user scenes, I'm going to copy this, and then I'm going to paste the created at number formats, date and time. Then I can give it this format, then the default variable value, then the date. You can just delete this particular row. Let's go ahead and test the app. So our run mode is ready. So I'll go to the account page, and then I'm going to select the become agent, and then I'm going to become an agent. So this navigate me to the agent page. You can see our bio, the work experience, then user scenes, and then we can navigate to edit profile. So that's that. So let's go ahead and create new property. You can call this the first property. Then we can just give it the property description. So we can just give it the price of maybe 6,000. Then year built, you can give it, you can say 2025. So then the square footage, you can give it any random. You can call it apartment. Listing type is for rent. Then the family kitchen, you can say 2 kitchen bedroom. You can call it 3 bedroom. Then the location, you can give it any random location. So for the drop down, you can select any random state, then any random new address. So for the amenities, you can select this, then security. So for the property image, so I can just select any random image here, maybe 2 images. Okay, so here is the so here we go. Here is the images we uploaded. This images is displaying because we didn't set the value from the generated images. It's displaying the default images. So let's publish it and then know what's going on. It's not working. So let's go to this button and see those fields. Okay, you can just change this inline function. We need to fix this button that is not creating the property we need to create. So I'm going to change this bedroom widget. I'm going to change it from drop down. For instance, I can copy this text field, then paste it here. So I'm going to call this widget, instead of price text field, I can call it bedroom text field. Then the text widget, I'm going to change it to bedrooms. So I can delete this. So I'm going to duplicate this again. So the text field, I'm going to change it to okay, the text field, the keyboard type is going to be in number. Then the filter is going to be digits. And then for the bathroom, I'm going to delete the bathroom drop down. So I'm going to duplicate the bedroom text field. So I'll change the bedroom to bathroom. The label is going to be bathroom. I can just duplicate this again. Then I'm going to drag it to the top. Then delete the kitchen. So this is bathroom. I will give it kitchen. So the label text will be kitchen. And then this row, I'm going to display the source. So it's going to be from the row. So I'm going to give it default value. So and then this button, I'm going to change the bedroom from inline function to widget state, the bedroom text field. And then the year built, I'm going to change it from the inline function to widget state, the bathroom text field. So and then the kitchen from the widget state, then the kitchen text field. So we should have all this error gone. I'm going to do the same thing to the edit property page. So I can just copy this and then go to the edit property page. So what text? So after that, this edit button should not be insert row, it should be update row. Then I'm going to give it matching row. The matching row will be the ID is equal to the property page parameter property detail, the ID. So that's what we are going to update. And then the value of this image should be from the generated image. Then give it default value of the previous image. This icon should remove the image from the list. Copy the page state. There's going to be images. So I'm going to remove from the list. Value to remove is going to be the property image item. Good. This container, I'm going to bind it with conditional usability. So it's going to be page state, then images, list is set and not empty. If the list is set and not empty, so the opposite direction, then this is going to be visible. Then I can copy the variable when I paste it to this container. If the list is set and not empty, if it is true, then I want to see this. So good. What we need to add next is the kitchen text field. I'm going to copy the kitchen text field, then go back to your edit property and then paste it here. So I'm going to delete this drop down. Then go back to the button. So I'll go to the kitchen and then change it to the text field. We just state the kitchen text field. So let's go ahead and then run our app again. So our text mode is now ready. Let's go ahead to our accounts, then to the become agent. So I'm going to become an agent. Then I'm going to add new property. You can call this first property. Then description, property description. I'm going to give it any random price like 8,000. Then the year built should be this year built. You can't add past dates. So I'll go ahead and then go to the add property. This is the add property. Then the year built, the date and time. I'm going to allow past dates, then allow future date. So to the edit property actually, the year built, then the action. I'm going to allow past dates. You're good. So let's see what else we have. This price text field should be number format only. So the keyboard type is number, and then I'm going to filter it by digits. So likewise as the square footage is going to be filtered by digits. So after that, I can add any random square footage, maybe 1,200, maybe 12,000, and then the apartments can be list, and the list type can be for sale, just any random thing. The kitchen can be maybe 1, the bedroom can be 4, and then the bathroom can be 4 as well. Then the states, I can pick any random states. Then the city, pick any random city. So I'm going to pick the amenities. So this property image, I'm going to bind it based on the conditional visibility. So this container, I'm going to go to the add property. Then this container, I'm going to bind it based on conditional visibility. So it's going to be from the page state, the images, the list is set and not empty. Then the opposite statement. So I'm going to confirm it and then copy the variable and paste it in this container. So I'm going to paste it here, then disable the opposite statement. Good. So now let's add images. I can add probably any random images. So or image. So while I upload the image, I want to show the snack bar. So from this, I can just show the snack bar. I'm going to show the snack bar. So let's see if our image, yeah, our image is now uploaded. So I'm going to publish it. Yes. So we can just, on top of this, we can edit the property. We still have some text field that's missing. For instance, the kitchen text field is missing, the bedroom text field is missing, and then what else is missing? Then this state and cities are missing. So we can just install, reload it, and see if the previous changes will take effect. So to the edit property, so the kitchen initial value is going to be the page parameter, then this is going to be kitchen, and then it's going to be number format. So I can just copy this variable, then paste it here. Then this is going to be the bedroom, number of bedroom. So I'm going to confirm the variable, then to the bathroom, paste the variable. So I'm going to change it to the bathroom, then confirm it. I will go to this property option. So after we navigate to the edit property page, I'm going to add a action to close the. This action is going to dismiss the bottom sheets. And just dismiss. Then after we delete the property, we're also going to dismiss the bottom sheets. We're going to dismiss it. So we are going to bind this showed widget based on conditional visibility. And then this one too is going to be based on conditional visibility. So this is going to be property details, then get the row feed. So the listing type, if the listing type is rent, so we are going to check the drop down so that the spelling will not contradict each other. So the listing type, we have for sale and then we have for rent. So I'm going to copy this for rent, then the property option, then paste the for rent. So if the listing type is for rent, I'm going to see this. So and then copy this whole variable. I'm going to paste it here. If the listing type is for sale, I want to see this widget. So let's check our text mode and then see what's going on from our text mode. So here's our home page. We can see we have one property, then the property display in the home page. So I'm going to become an agent. So let's add an action to this my listing so that we can easily navigate to the agent page. So I'll go to the accounts page. Then this is going to, from this my listing, I'm going to add an action to navigate to the agent page. It's going to be the agent page. So I'll pass the user detail row. It's going to be the Supabase row in the user. Good. So next time you are going to be able to navigate from the account page to the agent page. So we can try and then edit the property. So now we have number of kitchen. We can put 3. Then here we can put 3. We can put 2 here. Then we can put 3 here. So the states and then the city. I'll just select any random. So my test mode is done running. I'll go to then my listing. Good. So now I can edit the property. Good. Now I have the kitchen, I have the bedroom, I have the bathroom. So it's now working. Then the states and the city is not working. Also, the amenities are not working. So I'll go ahead to my state and city. So the component parameter, I will add 2 parameter to the, we're going to do the states, and then it's going to be string, and then this is going to be it is not required. I'll disable the required. Then this is going to be the city, and then it is also string. It is not required. Then I'm going to confirm it. So for the state, I'm going to set the int text as the component parameter, then the state. So I'm going to give it default variable value of state. And then for the city, I'm going to set the int text, the city page parameter, then the default variable value of city. So that's that. So I'll go back to my edit property page. What I will do to this state and then this city, I'm going to do a correction on this button regarding the state and then the city. If agent has already added state and then city in add property page, so if agent later navigates to edit property and did not modify the state and then the city, we want to set the previous state and then the city in our database. After we tap on this button, we can just do the correction of this done spelling. I'm going to do a small letter, and then on top of this button I'm going to add I'm going to do the correction. So this is going to be state. Instead of state dropdown, I will bind it based on conditional value. So this conditional value is going to be single condition, and then the statement is going to be widget state, the city, the state dropdown is set are not empty. If the state dropdown is set are not empty, then I'm going to save the value from widget state and then the state dropdown. Yes, I'm going to save the value from the page parameter and then the state. Now I'll do the same thing for the city. I will bind it based on conditional value and then single condition. This is going to be the widget state city dropdown. If the city dropdown is set and not empty, then the value is going to be from the city dropdown. Yes, the value is going to be from the page parameter, the city field. Good. So that's that for our dropdown. So after that, when we navigate to our edit property page, we want to see our state and density automatically filled in the drop down. So what we have to do now is the feature and then amenities. We want to allow the previous amenities to appear in the edit property page. There's a lot of error here. So instead of adding all these container, what we have to do is we are going to make use of only one container here. So what we are going to do now is to add a page state to store all our amenities. So I will go to the page state and then so this is going to be string and then it's going to be list. It's a list of string. I'm going to copy all the amenities one by one and then add it to my app state. So let's start from this swimming pool and then to the app state. I'm going to add the item. It's going to be the swimming pool, and then the parking space. So here is all the amenities I have in my UI. Then I will go to my wrap and then generate the children dynamically from the app state. Then I'm going to select the amenities. So I'm going to type in all amenities. Then generate the children dynamically. So this text is going to be from the future amenities item. Then I'm going to confirm it. And then for the checkbox action, I'm going to modify the actions. So instead of adding swimming pool to the list, I'm going to change it to future amenity. So this is what is going to add to the list. And then for the toggle off, it's going to remove this from the list. Now for the checkbox initial value, so I'm going to bind it based on conditional value. So the conditional value is going to be single condition, and then I'm going to set the value from the page parameter property detail, and then I'm going to get the row feed, the amenities, list contain item. If the list contain item is equal to the future amenities item. So I can just copy this variable, then I'm going to paste it here. If the list contain item is equal to official amenities, then I'm going to set the value to be true, else the value will be false. Then I'm going to confirm it. So let's go ahead and then test the app again and see if all our changes is going to work. So now our test mode is done running. I'll go to my accounts and then to my listing. So I'm going to long press, then navigate to the edit property. Boom. So here you can see our edit property is now, our state and then city is now working. I'll select the California and then I can select Long Beach. So for the features and amenities, so I'm going to select more features and amenities and see if it's going to work. So I'm going to select the confirm and then I will navigate again. Yeah, we can see it now works perfectly. So let's go ahead and then add address. So I'm going to go and then add. So everything works perfectly now. Everything works perfectly. I can remove the amenities, then I can add any random. So as you can see, everything works perfectly. So that's going to be the end of this video. Thank you guys for watching. If you find the video very helpful, please do like and then subscribe. And then if you have any question regarding the video, put down your question in the comments below. I'm going to respond to all the questions. Thank you guys for watching. See you in the next video.